And we are underway in 2017. Nice kick by Parkey. 10 years deep.
There's a ball that goes,
Kamara, the rookie out of Tennessee, goes right up the middle and is stuffed. Jamie Collins Sr. was in there along with Danny Shelton, and will get a start. Second and long, straight up the middle for a first down and more is Kamara. Daniel in the shotgun throws over the middle. That's complete for about 10 yards to Thomas, which was definitely a problem a year ago. Nice fake by Daniel. They go to the tight end, Josh Hall,
to make the tackle.
Kamara up the middle. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage for Daniels. Kamara goes to his right. Here comes the first blitz. They don't get there, but the pass is incomplete. Good opening sequence for the Browns defense. High end over end. Peppers lets it go and it bounds into the end zone. Out of the eye, and Osweiler back to throw on first down. Throws behind Corey Coleman in the backfield, and that starting lineup driven by Liberty Ford, the #1 Ford group in the state of Ohio. Duke Johnson Jr. in motion. And movement up front, and that's Cameron Irving.
Number 74 offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Part of the way through his senior year. And looked like Irving is going to be called for holding. An inauspicious beginning for Cameron Irving. He and
Holding,
Sean
number
Coleman
74 offense, that penalty's declined. Fourth down.
Will be fighting.
Inside the 10, but the good news is he walked off under his own power.
Thanks, Andy Colquitt punting to Kamara, high and short. Kamara, the running back. Kuhn is the fullback. Daniel short underneath. And the Browns will hold him to a 6-yard gain. Look at everybody run to the ball.
He wants to dial up plays
repeatedly.
That's right.
Kamara shakes a tackle and cuts to the outside. Joe Hayden trips him up at the 25-yard line. Hard run by the rookie, 22 yards.
One of the things Greg Williams told us that he wanted to check out is the ability to make tackles. You could see Tank Carter had him, but Kamara is able to spin out and get outside the defense for a sizable gain.
Cadet checks in to spell him, and Cadet straight up the middle.
Sizable rushing lane for the run.
Little spin move there by Daniel Lasco, the fullback. He's swallowed up back at the 14-yard line. Daniel over the middle, complete inside the 5. Need to reach the 1 for a first down. Daniel over the middle, incomplete. That should have been a touchdown catch. It went through the hands of Ted Ginn Jr. And New Orleans takes the lead. Peppers a return man extraordinaire at Michigan. High, short kick. Peppers from the 6. Finds a seam across the 30. Running hard to the 34. Nice return, Jabril Peppers. Osweiler for his second series. Little flat pass to Corey Coleman after they sent him in motion. Flag is down as Coleman picked up about 4 yards on the little swing. Jeff Triplett, the referee tonight.
In the back, number 18 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
3.
Osweiler short set, throws to Duke Johnson Jr. Osweiler with good protection, floats it downfield. It's incomplete to Lewis. Saints come with a 5-man rush. Osweiler hangs in the pocket. Tried to hit DeValve. Colquitt to punt to Kamara, who waits inside his 20. Nice kick this time. Kamara driven back to the 13-yard line. Browns have it well covered, but he got past the first two men out to the 25.
Greg Williams similarly here in Cleveland.
Oh, I do too. Lasko hitting the backfield and taking down Kirksey. And Garrett Grayson comes in at quarterback. There is a penalty marker down. One other thing about Greg Williams.
Offside defense. Left tackle lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, repeat,
Well,
first
that's
down.
a shame. That negates a really good play. But
Off-season acquisition, not just the players, but coaches also.
Grayson under pressure, and they got him. The sack goes to Nate Orchard. 100 miles an hour he plays on the field. Lasko again trying to get up to the outside. Orchard the first man to hit him and take him down. Collins coming on a blitz. It's a screen. Lasko. Boy, and the Browns did a really good job. Screen is the perfect call against the blitz.
Well,
yeah,
got to get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback.
Offense, number 74 is not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined.
Okay.
It's order the plays, fourth down.
Beautiful kick. And Pepper's really upset with himself. Let's take over from the 23. Osweiler still in at quarterback. This is Crowell. Straight ahead, moving the pile for about 3. Crowell, not much there. Picks up maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6. There's another flag now.
Holding, number 72, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
4 flags thrown against the Browns. Osweiler draw play, Duke Johnson to the 21. It'll still be 3rd and long. Osweiler, the veteran, dumps it off underneath. And DeValve will only pick up about 6 yards.
Valve couldn't make that first defender miss in space.
False start, offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty, repeat, fourth down.
Pete Jackson's done a nice job putting the staff together. Colquitt was terrific last year. Lewis, flag is down. So's Lewis, 27.
Field lock in the back. Number 54 in the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Then they'll start for real against the Steelers. A little bit better interior run defense on that carry. Grayson, the quarterback, again throws underneath. Every game, every play. There he comes. Didn't quite get there, but forced the incomplete pass.
Kirksey worked very well together.
Armstead, beautiful high floater. Peppers is not going to fair catch this one. From the 22, reverses his field. Nice return by Peppers. Out in the flat, Crowell picks up 9.5 yards. Crowell driving forward for 5. Osweiler fakes short, then goes long and overthrown. And Duke Johnson said he was interfered with. There is a flag down.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic
Exactly
first down.
what it is. Devontae Harris. Browns in New Orleans territory at the 45. DeValve is the man in motion. Crowell, the tailback. 74. Osweiler. If you don't think he's athletic enough, consider this. Hugh Jackson says he has changed his philosophy after going 0-4 last preseason. Said he never wants to have that feeling again. And if we're going to play, we need to try and win.
Pass interference, defense, number 20. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Clearly the most impressive possession for the Browns so far in this game. Crowell, who runs hard. Talley, the only true fullback on the roster, flanks out to the right. And Duke Johnson is in at running back. Osweiler looks left and throws right and just touches the fingertips of Seth DeVal. Loves to use tight ends in the offense. A blitz coming. Pass complete, and the Browns will have a first down. Nice play. Great recognition by Osweiler.
This is going to make his wide receiver coach, Al Saunders, very happy. He made 2 defenders miss. There's 1, there's 2, in order to pick up that first down.
Giving the fans something to cheer for here. Osweiler, short set. Coleman. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
5 receivers. Johnson in the slot.
Got one-on-one outside.
To the end zone. Kenny Britt. Is he in?
He had to be in. Come on, ref. Give
Put
it
your
to him.
hands. No!
Oh! They took a while to come up with that decision. We saw the Browns practicing this.
Offside. Number 20, defense, lined into the neutral zone.
That's the
5-yard
corner,
penalty.
Crawley.
Still second down.
Execute on that very play.
Osweiler has completed 4 of his last 5. Crowell to the 7. One of the greatest offensive linemen in the history of this game, not just the Browns. Osweiler flushed and throws it away. Osweiler short set. And Britt was held up.
Yeah, Britt's got to get over the top. He can't get...
They hit you harder here.
Exactly.
Osweiler, a bullet. Complete to the 3. Osweiler incomplete.
It really is going to be Sean Coleman's job ultimately. Nice to see the team finally move the ball. Would have liked to come away with points there, obviously.
All right, Nathan, we'll talk a little bit more in the 4th quarter. Guys?
Saints quickly get it out to the 20-yard line. 17-yard gain that time. Fake to Lasco. Pass over the middle, tipped away by Schobert.
Wow.
Just stuck up a hand and knocked it down. Pressure up the middle, lost the ball, and the Browns have it.
Did he pounce on it?
Recovered by Carl Nassib, the second-year man out of Penn State.
Now watch this. There it is. Someone hit him, and then Nassib was able to come and get it. It's just good team defense. You talk about hit, hurry, and harassing the quarterback. Turnovers and
There's
takeaways.
no penalty flag
Create a
on
short
the
field
play.
for the offense.
Came out by mistake.
Game, he was terrific. Did not have very much success throwing the ball downfield. There's a short pass to Coleman, shakes a tackler and knocked out of bounds after about 9 yards. North Carolina State, and he has made a lot of plays in camp. He's got enough for a first down. Kessler throws behind Days. Didn't give him a chance to run with the ball. Picks up maybe 3. Johnson, a 5th-round draft choice, is into the tackle spot. He's number 78. Little swing to Leslie's, another kid who has made waves in camp. Osweiler said, afraid he had a concussion earlier in camp. Turned out that he didn't. This is to the end zone. There's a flag.
Yeah, he had plenty jersey that time. Crawley's a good corner.
Pass interference. Defense, number 20. That foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First and goal.
First and goal. Days. Nice cut. Touchdown, Browns.
Towards the coach. The coach wanted to see it, but watch the push on the offensive line. Wow. They're blowing out those black and gold jerseys in Days.
We'll try the point after he's in a battle with Cody Parkey for the kicking job. Gonzalez converts, the best kicker in the country.
Look at that. As advertised, right?
See ya. New Orleans takes over from the 25, and Schobert plants Tavares Cadet after a gain of about 3. And if you can create turnovers, you can win. That is the one statistic every head coach in the world at any level. Grayson in the shotgun. Browns come with a blitz. And they get there.
Stunts, running the different games to blitz the quarterback.
And this one will go out of bounds. Kessler, good protection. Now he's flushed. And he goes down to 34. New Orleans shows blitz. They come with 5. Kessler had the ball slip out of his hand. It's been a trademark of this offense. Blitz coming, and Kessler is buried. Fair catch disdained by Tommy Lee Lewis, and he's taken down at the 42.
5 are the Saints on third down plays.
Nakua in at one of the safety spots, and Grayson throws to the sideline. Complete. Body Calhoun makes the tackle. 5-man rush. Got there late. Grayson with time over the middle, complete to the 21-yard line.
Increase the defense.
Flag is down. Pressure was coming
Use
inside.
the hands. Hands to the face. Number 69 of the offense. The 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Pressure coming up the middle. Pass underneath. Back to the 21 we go as they... Really good receiver out of the backfield. Grayson pressured and throws behind Cadet.
It's kind of like growing up. I was the youngest of 4 boys. You think the other 3 guys took it easy on me, Mike?
Didn't cut you a break, did they?
No way. No way.
He is on to try the field goal. And booms it through to cut the lead to 1.
To some of the things that he can learn from a former player.
Taking a couple of yards deep in the end zone. Austin out to the 17-yard line. To have 34 seconds to do something with it. Kessler will throw underneath. Days gets out of bounds to stop the clock. That schedule see Los Angeles Chargers. What?
Yeah, what is that about, right?
Money.
Nice throw.
Kessler over the middle to the 49-yard line. Beautiful throw that time. Who's made some nice catches in practice. Pulls that in for 31.
Right in the seam, over the top of the safety before the linebacker can drop and before the safety can come up.
Bottom line, isn't it?
That's right.
Kessler incomplete, intended for Seth DeVal, his tight end running it.
Award, then get drafted by the Cleveland
Yes,
Browns.
it is. Kessler. Oh, he had him after making a nice move in the pocket to keep the play alive. 4-man rush. They drop 7. Kessler on a post, and it's dropped. Kessler just throws this out of bounds, and they use so much time there was no chance to get another play. That's the half. Low line drive kick. Days on the run, and he will take it out of the end zone. Let's go to Andy. The knock on him in college was lack of accuracy, and you can only expect that to be modified or enhanced in the pros because the windows to throw are so much smaller. They have a great attitude too, as do the other 2 quarterbacks that are in the battle with him. Days, nice quick cut. That's why he has impressed the coaches in camp. In the draft, he was the 30th running back taken, and Kaiser showing you he can run. Got a gun. Kaiser on 2nd and 10. Takes off again. Rifles one right at the sticks to Boyce. He made that catch.
2nd and.
End around that blows up in their face. Hall tackled for a loss of about 10 yards. Under pressure from behind and down. 3rd and a mile. Screen to the tight end, Telford. He's whacked. The ball came loose. Was he down or not? Tommy Lee Lewis is deep. Says get away. And Colquitt, not a very good punt, goes out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Never will. He's in the most exclusive club in the NFL.
It's great for this organization.
Yes, he is.
A lot of us around the league, we root for him and want him to experience some winning before his career is done.
In this game against the Browns' 1st, 2nd, and 3rd team defense, and they just did. Final one.
Isn't that something?
Which is going to make it nearly impossible if you are the first guy cut. I think you'd have to do a lot of advanced scouting. Boy, nice pursuit by Nate Orchard.
There was a late flag.
He was going
Holding.
after the guy they faked
Defense,
to.
number 93.
Yeah, they call it
5-yard
holding.
penalty, automatic first down.
That shouldn't be holding. Make work.
Yes, it did. Certainly worked on Coley. Cadet with the carry.
You mean writing pens?
Yes.
Not the kind you needle with.
No, otherwise it would be pins. Big Alexander in on that last play. Backup linebacker. Here comes another blitz. And the pass caught at the 1.
Wow. Darius Hillary in on the coverage. This isn't bad coverage at all. But look at that.
Trying to make the team as a kick returner. He may be able to make the team as a wide receiver. He was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. He is a really good edge rusher. New Orleans back to the 1. Flag is down. The tackle was made again by Alexander.
Offside.
We'll check the marker.
Defense, nose tackle. Line up in the neutral zone. Half the distance to goal. Repeat, 2nd down.
Now they're not even going to give us a number a couple of times. 2nd and goal. Oh, good stop. Trying to hold and keep the lead. Nice goal line stand. Handed off on the end around. No dice.
It's what Greg Williams wants.
Yes, sir. And Buddy Calhoun in on 3 out of 4 plays.
He snipped this one out.
Oh, didn't he
Knifed in
ever?
underneath.
Overall, what's impressed you so far?
Well, I think this kid right here has looked okay. I mean, the offense hasn't done a whole lot. They're swimming a little bit.
Terrence McGee is in as the tailback. He takes it across the 10.
Stand out here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at some of these wide receivers because there's really, it's not solidified on the outside.
Boy, Kaiser does have an arm, doesn't he?
Take Coach Jackson live and
That's right.
hear his thoughts on.
He wants to win this preseason game, though. After 0-4 last year, he wants to win it.
Guys, he's 1-19 as a head coach. Are you kidding me? This is the Super Bowl. You want to win every single game.
Ryan spent 4 years with the Giants. Straight up the middle.
Maintain a high standard of play.
Pressure coming on the quarterback. Nice throw.
Energy and that adrenaline and stay within yourself.
Side defense, number 69, line up in the neutral zone.
Guy
5-yard penalty.
Washington State
Repeat,
and
first down.
Schultz. Up the middle for a couple, and again, Cooper makes the stop. Lasco picks up the blitz, the pass to the outside, complete to the 7-yard line. Coleman makes the catch. Not going to get a whole lot of work there.
No.
Lasco again inside the 5. The marker is down.
Offside defense, number 69, half the distance. Half the
Again,
distance to the
Mike?
goal. Repeat,
Again.
first down.
Again?
Lasco to the 1. Gang tackled there. And there's a touchdown. Nice throw by Nassib. Tommy Lee Lewis makes the catch.
Look at this throw with his kid brother coming in his face, right?
Right, yeah. Lasco is the deep man in the eye. He'll get the ball, and Lasco struggles but is stopped short.
So far in the backfield, so
Offside
quickly.
defense. Left tackle and left end lined up in the neutral zone. Half the distance to the goal, retry.
So now they'll go for it again. Same play to the goal line, and the 2-point conversion works. Makes some mistakes along the defensive line, gives New Orleans new life, and they take advantage of it. 3 seconds into the fourth quarter, the Saints have taken a 14-7 lead, and they are reviewing that 2-point conversion.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Plays college ball at South Carolina. And he kicks it out of bounds, so Wilds won't get an opportunity. Let's check in with Andy.
Gentlemen, let's talk a little bit more with Nathan Zegura.
Kaiser remains on at quarterback. Under pressure. Got rid of the ball. And a good comeback pattern by Hall. And there is a flag down. The advantage
Illegal
of being
contact.
big and
Number
strong.
24, the defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is first down.
McGee, the running back, number 33. He'll get the carry. Nice hole off the left side. And McGee drags a tackler for about 4 or 5 yards. Kaiser in trouble, and down he goes. Needed to get rid of that one. Kaiser steps up.
Got him.
Open. Touchdown.
Panic on this throw. Watch him step into this one, Mike. Watch him maneuver, then watch him step into this one. And from there, I said, oh my God, he got him. Mulaney, nice throw. Good move to get open and poise the weight on the ball and look it in. There it is, the out and up double move. That was the pump from Kaiser. Then Kaiser had enough to drive it on home.
Nice pattern, too. So it'll be first and goal. That didn't take long. McGee works his way into the end zone.
Defense, number 24. That penalty is declined. Result of the
It was
play
their
is
turn to be
touchdown.
offside.
That's right.
Quick screen, Days, and that play didn't work.
Had to elude a defender coming in for the sack, reset himself, and then throw the ball downfield.
New Orleans will take it out to about the 18-yard line on the kickoff from Cody Parkey. Sid stays in at quarterback. And they'll run Darius Victor. Underneath, Victor comes out of the backfield. So is Tyrone Holmes, 91. Picked him up on waivers from Jacksonville. And this will be a run for a first down out to the 36-yard line by Victor. J.D. Harmon, number 41, another free agent in there. Nassib is chased on the run, throws it away. 3rd and 3. They'll try to get it on the ground and forget it. Mario Alford back to take the kick from the 21. What a speedster out of West Virginia. Nice return. Kaiser complete to Leslie.
Trying to help him grow and develop. However, you know,
Wilds is the setback. 4-man rush. Kaiser, nice move to get away. And does the right thing and throws that one out of bounds.
yeah.
The valve. Nice catch. Takes it up to the 46-yard line. They don't want to test him with a sore back. Blitz coming. Kaiser with a bullet. Boy, that looked like contact.
That looked
didn't
like
it?
a lot of contact.
Have to punt it away to Tommy Lee Lewis. And makes a fair catch at the 14-yard line. Heads up programs focusing on player safety. Now the Saints would like
Come down with it.
he is a terrific receiver. The question will be, will he be able to block at this level? Pressure coming, and Nassib just got crushed. Darius Victor, nice run there.
This Victor, he can break some tackles
Yes. Victor again, a little hesitation, then he tripped over his own feet and went down just shy of the 40-yard line. Browns come with a blitz and got there. That is Greg Williams football, I'm telling you.
Run a train through Ryan Nassib, and you see the hit on the sack right there.
Rennell Hall back, but the punt won't reach him. Schultz made that last tackle. So far, he's 7 out of 12 for 88 yards. Here comes the blitz by New Orleans, and they bat that ball down. To these guys on technique. Telford. Pressure on Kaiser, and he goes down inside the 30-yard line.
And he's the doctor to go see.
Yeah, very smart guy. Saints come with a blitz. Kaiser hangs in the pocket, rifles one to the sideline, and that'll keep the drive alive out to the 48-yard line. And guys don't get enough credit for that.
Sure
People
don't.
look at speed.
That's what it looks like, the real thing. He's looking good tonight.
Blitz coming again. Hangs in the pocket. Pass a little bit high for Peyton. Can't make the catch, so it brings up a big third down, 3rd and 4.
It's interesting. We asked the same question to Myles Garrett. What did he say? It's just another game.
Knocks them all the way back to their own 43. Kaiser under pressure and has to throw it away. And there's another flag down as Kaiser gets dumped after the end of the play.
Holding, number 66, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Spencer Dranga. New Orleans with a chance to run out the clock. They need a big play here, and the pass too high and incomplete. Well covered at the sideline. 4-man rush. They drop 7 into coverage. Kaiser pump fake, throws complete. And that's only a yard shy of a 1st down. Nice throw. Kaiser blitz coming. Airs it out. Touchdown!
Wow. Foul. Roughing the passer, number 56 of the defense.
To Mike Kaiser put it right on the number.
Jordan Payton, look at this. He's open from the word go. And Kaiser saw it all the way. And just with a flip of the wrist, that ball was out there and very accurate. Take him much.
No, it
Drive it
doesn't.
down the field, does it?
The point after is good. 8 plays, 75 yards, and it comes in the clutch. And this kickoff may get to Toledo. Nassib is back in the game. That's good to see. He really got drilled a couple of series ago. They have 2 timeouts to stop the clock. 4-man rush. Nassib over the middle. Big gain here down to the Browns.
Pass rush and close off the middle of the field, Mike.
4-man rush. Nassib again open and complete to Tommy Lee Lewis.
The ball nearly was dropped.
Another one down to the 25. And usually the middle of the field is open in this situation. Nassib on the run, throws to the sideline out of bounds. Here comes the blitz. Nassib throws. Lewis made the catch, can't get out of bounds. Curry with a nice tackle. Blitz coming again. For the end zone, incomplete. There's some contact downfield. There's not going to be a flag. 6 men come on the blitz.
There you go.
Does Greg Williams strike you as a guy who sits back?
No. No, he doesn't. Defense.
Holding, offense,
There you go.
left tackle. That penalty decline. Result of the play is the first down for Cleveland.